Morning, everyone. Thanks for joining us today. We'll be starting in a few moments. Good morning, everyone. Thanks for joining this month's Ace Your Science live webinar series. My name is Shannon Meister, and I'll be your presenter today. A couple things before we get started. If you take a look at the top right of your screen, you will see a text box with a question mark in it. This is where all questions can be submitted. I will be reviewing your questions at the end of today's webinar. If for some reason I'm unable to answer your question, I will ensure that it is answered after today's webinar. A little background about me before we get started. I've been with ACE Glass for 10 years this November. My background is in biology and chemistry with an R&D focus of military coatings and automotive coatings. Here at ACE, it is crucial that our sales team has a background within the scientific community in order to better serve you and your laboratory needs. Let's take a deeper dive into today's discussion topic, programmable pumps with Impresario. You might be asking yourself, what is an Impresario? An Impresario is an economical, customizable hardware-software platform for the precise control of a process reactor. From basic to the most complex reactions, Impresario can elevate your process with precision, automation, and generate instantaneous data to take your lab work to the next level. Almost any lab requires some sort of standards, procedures, repeatability, and the minimization of errors, all accomplished through data collection and the recording of information. Most systems on the market that assist with control and recording are complicated and expensive, only available to the few, or those willing to take on the daunting task of integrating the new tool into their lab environment. The Impresario sheds all these complications and integration issues and creates a streamlined and economical platform, simplifying its introduction to the user's lab. It was created to be a user-designed platform from which a multitude of instruments, apparatus, and sensors can be monitored, controlled, and logged. This versatile little red box can perform the most basic of tasks or be programmed to handle the most intricate automation. The base unit is designed as an introductory platform from which further integration can be performed. Automation control is easily managed with a formula-style user interface program. The Impresario functions as an ideal reactor automation controller for your laboratory needs and your budget. Let's review what the Impresario base unit is capable of, as well as what you will need in your lab prior to receiving the unit. You will need a PC running Windows XP, Windows 7 or higher, 250 megabytes of disk space, a minimum of 1 gigabyte RAM, a USB port, and Microsoft Excel or similar app. Let's review what the capabilities of the base system are. The first is monitoring and controlling pH. This is done with the addition of a syringe pump, all available from ACE. The second capability is monitoring and controlling temperature. This is done with a J-type thermocouple accessory in conjunction with some sort of heating apparatus, like a stir mantle or circulator. The third is monitoring and controlling vacuum and/or pressure. This is done with the addition of a vacuum pressure source and the appropriate proportioning valve, all available through ACE. The last capability of the Impresario base system is monitoring and controlling speed and torque, using a variety of stirring systems also available through us. Please note that if for some reason your lab is in need of XP rated units, an explosion-proof stirring option is also available. What's great about this unit is that it is extremely versatile. We also know that in the science community cannot fit into one parameter size. This is why we ensure that the controlling device could be adapted to your intricate and unique needs in the lab. Provided on this slide is a list of examples of additional peripheral drivers that can be created. These include balances, circulators, water baths, liquid pumps, peristaltic and syringe, which we will get to later on in this presentation, solid pumps, vacuum pumps, sensors and controllers, flow meters, turbidity sensors, ultrasonic equipment, temperature controllers and sensors, pH controllers and sensors, dissolved oxygen sensors, heating mantles, tapes and Instatherm, hot plate stirrers, valves, dosing or powder addition systems, overhead stirrers or mixing equipment, and level measurement and control. Communication ports are required on this peripheral device. If there is something outside of this list that you're interested in, please let us know so we can confirm that your device can be interfaced with our unit for automation and control. This is a screenshot of what the software will look like on your computer. You can see at the top across the display deck in black that there are 5 peripherals that are being in this demonstration that are being controlled and monitored. Below the display deck is a more in-depth view of each peripheral, which also includes potential reaction steps of each as well. In this demonstration, we are controlling and monitoring a thermocouple, stirring, the chiller, a pH probe, and also pressure. Please note that in the base system, a 24-step formulation is possible for each peripheral. This allows for the most basic reactions to the most complex formulas that require a magnitude of differentiated steps. On the bottom right hand of the screen, you can see Show Graphical Display. If you were to click this feature, it would take you to a page like this. This is the graphical display of your peripherals that you are controlling and monitoring. Note that you can have up to 3 charts displaying at one time, and in this demonstration, I am displaying 2. To the right-hand side of the graph, you can see that we are displaying pressure as well as stirring. You can also see on the right-hand side of your screen that you can manipulate your Y-min, Y-max, and X-axis accordingly. If you would like to go back to the previous page, you would do the same as the former and click Show Table Data. As I'm sure all of you know, dispensing pumps are devices that are designed to deliver solvent material in precise increments. Here is a checklist of questions to ask yourself to determine whether programmable pumps can be of use to you, refining and elevating your process. Does your work involve extreme precision with a solvent addition? Does your work involve chemicals that are toxic and best kept out of the hands of a researcher? Does your work require synchronized additions or multiple additions at one time or over time? Would you like your work streamlined and human error be removed from your data? If you answered yes to one or any other of these questions, programmable dispensing pumps may be a solution for you. There are some key factors that our team will need in order to properly fit you with your correct dispensing pump. Information that we will need to collect from you are as followed. What is the fastest flow rate you anticipate to utilize? What is the slowest rate you anticipate to utilize? What is the largest volume of any reagent you anticipate to utilize? Knowing this information is crucial for our team to properly fit you with with the correct dispensing pump. There are two main dispensing pumps that we utilize. They are syringe pumps and peristaltic pumps. Let's first look at syringe pumps, focusing on their functionality and what types of integration we can do with our Impresario system. Syringe pump overview. Syringe pumps can have 1 to 16 independent pumps, single or dual configured. Syringe pumps dispense fluid with sub-microliter precision, and it is either a single injection or continuous flow. Syringe pumps have a great precision rate. Both the total volume delivery and flow rate have less than a 0.1% error. Syringe pumps wetted components are either Teflon or borosilicate, keeping your chemical compatibility in mind. Syringe pumps can add 2 different reagents at independent rates and volumes. Syringe pumps can also have up to a 24-step addition program, as I mentioned in the previous slides. An important feature of the syringe pump, like I said, is that their delivery rate is from 0.5 microliters per minute to 200 milliliters per minute. Again, this is going to be your key factor in knowing whether a syringe pump or an alternative pump is going to be best for you and your system. You can have up to 32 pumps combined in one single system, and automated distribution valves will fill and dispense up to 8 ports with one single syringe pump. Moving into syringe pumps and the possible delivery program. As I mentioned before, a 24-step formulation is possible for each peripheral. So within that 24-step formulation, here are the different programs that can be utilized with your syringe pump. Please note that the first 6 pumps that are displayed for the delivery programs come standard with the software package. Program 1, timed addition. This is a continuous delivery of any volume at a user's entered flow rate. Program 2, which is a sequential addition. It's a 16-step program sequentially delivering up to 14 different reagents to multiple reactors. Independent volumes and flow rates for each step are possible. Program 3 is a parallel addition. Single reagent to multiple reactors, up to 7, in parallel with independent volumes and flow rates. Program 4 is a concurrent addition. This simultaneously adds 2 reagents to a single reactor at independent rates and volumes. Note, a dual syringe pump will be needed to be utilized with a concurrent addition, which is Program 4. Program 5 is a program builder. Drag and drop any sequence of pump configurations to perform virtually any fluid delivery. Program 6 is manual control. We know that at times during reactions, you would need to manually manipulate your reaction. This is why manual control is there. Program 7, an auto sampler, aspirate samples at any user set time. And Program 8 is custom. If for any reason any of the above programs do not fall in the parameters of your reaction, you are able to custom create your own. If your parameters fall outside of syringe pump threshold applications, a peristaltic pump may be the best option for you and your needs. Peristaltic pumps are the perfect choice when your process requires a higher volume addition. Precision is still available, however, through the add by weight feature, an option that you cannot find anywhere else with the controlling automation unit. If you would like more information about the add by weight feature, please let me know at the end of this presentation, and I would be happy to take a deeper dive into what I mean by add by weight feature. Peristaltic pumps volume range is a minimum of 0.1 milliliter with an unlimited maximum. The flow rate of peristaltic pumps has a minimum of 0.1 millimeters per minute to a maximum of 12,000 milliliters per minute. I thought it would be nice to show how peristaltic pumps and Impresario are being used with the customer. In this example, there are 2 different solutions being made. There's one on the left with a pump and stir, and then there's another solution being made on the right also with a peristaltic pump and a stirrer. Both solutions are then combined through a shear mixer at a high RPM into a 50-liter reactor equipped with a chiller. Every parameter in this reaction is monitored, automated, and controlled all through Impresario. Again, this example displays how Impresario and programmable pumps can seamlessly be integrated into everyday laboratory life. Are you ready to add Impresario or programmable pumps into your lab? Reach out to us today and we will get a quote started for you. This concludes today's webinar series. Thank you for joining us. Please follow us on all of our social media accounts, LinkedIn, Facebook, and Instagram. Our handle is Ace Class Incorporated. We also have a YouTube account where we upload these webinars as well as tips and tricks for your laboratory. Ace Glass Incorporated is our handle. And also, please join us for our next Ace Your Science webinar series with my counterpart, Matt Gudak, the Midwest Sales Manager. He will be reviewing chromatography columns on Thursday, October 16th. Thank you so much for joining us today. We really appreciate it. This now leads to our questions portions of the webinar. Let's see. Is there any training with the Impresario? Yes, there are actually a couple options. There is a demonstration software that can come with the Impresario unit, which will show you how to use the software and how to use the unit in general. The second option is that you can have an on-site fee added to your quotation, and this would physically have someone come out to your laboratory, set up the Impresario unit, and answer any questions that you might have. Is it easy to upgrade the basic system if I need to add more features at a later date? Yes, that is no problem. What we would have to do is we would have to ensure that the Impresario and the stereo communication, depending upon what feature you would like to update it to, we would have to ensure that it can be done, and that would be not a problem. Can the system be used in a bioreactor? Yes, it definitely can. Again, these are all the things that we would review when quotating the system, that the stereo communication can be possible with not only your bioreactor, but the peripheral drivers that you have with your bioreactor. But there should not be any problem with that. Are there any safety features or backups? Yes, there are. There are a few. I was working with a customer that wanted to ensure that there were safety backups with their chiller. And you can have one safety feature that I know that is possible is that you can have a loud audible alarm. You can have the unit shut off. You can also have, this is a option that might not be the best scenario, but it's still possible. You can have a second chiller for a backup, and the first one can be shut off as well. Lead time. What is the lead time for these? So these should just be just like our normal products, and depending upon how custom the Impresario unit that you need, but they are readily available for us to send out. Do you supply the computer to operate, or can a custom purchase their own? So we do not supply the computer. Again, that is something that would have to be available in your lab or purchased prior to. Can this be used with a foam sensor? Yes, I do believe that it can be done with a foam sensor. Again, when I mentioned in the previous slide, in the very beginning of all the different peripherals that have been used with the Impresario, all it would need to take, or all that we would need to know, is just some information about your foam sensor, and we would just need to ensure that the stereo communication would work with not only the unit, but your equipment as well. Just the same, another question about a liquid sensor, a liquid level sensor, that should not be a problem as well. Sorry, these are all rolling in quickly. Let's see if I missed anything. Can you use the program, the same programs for the peristaltic pump? Yes. Okay, I believe I answered all of these questions. And if for some reason I missed one, I apologize. And again, I'm going to review these all after the webinar, and I will make sure if I did not answer them, I will send them out to you, the answers, with the email that you subscribe to the webinar with. But again, thank you so much for joining us today, and we hope to see you on the next webinar series. Have a great day.